Hey, what's up? My name is Eric, and I'm the plant nerd from San Diego, California. Thank you so much for joining my channel and for following my journey as I collect and grow rare houseplants. I'm located in San Diego, Zone 10B, and I primarily am a Hoya grower and collector. I do collect aroids as well, mostly anthuriums, but mainly Hoyas. I have over 100 different Hoya species and cultivars, and I absolutely love them. I got my first Hoya, I want to say December 2020, and it was an Australis. And from then, I was just absolutely hooked. I got all the common ones, and then I went to the uncommon, and now I have some of the rare. So continue to grow them, and then once you bloom them, then you're hooked. Once you get that first bloom on a Hoya, you're hooked, and you're down the rabbit hole, I think they call it. So thank you for joining my channel. Before I forget, please like, comment, and subscribe for this video. I'm planning to try to do one video a week on Saturday, Sunday, around there, just so I get used to it. So thank you for joining me, and please, it's my first one, so I appreciate all your grace and kindness that you can offer as I get used to this medium. So I collect Hoyas in my growing method. I grow all of my Hoyas in my grow tent behind me. I have been growing in the grow tent for about a year. I used to grow them in my ambient environment, and they did well. Some did better than the others. In San Diego, our humidity is really low, so some of them do well, some of them didn't. Once I moved everybody into my grow tent, it was perfect. Everybody loved it, and they're doing very, very, very well. Now, my grow tent stays at about 85 degrees during the day, and like 75 at night, and my humidity stays around 85%. At night in California, our humidity is lower during the day and higher at night. So I'm about 85% at night in the day in my tent, and then at night it can get to like 90%. So I have to crack it open so I can leave some air in there. So I wanted to bring my first video. I wanted to bring to you 3 of my favorite Hoyas for November. All of these Hoyas I've grown from small 2-leaf cuttings. 2 of them are flowered. One hasn't flowered yet, but all of them in my collection. How do I grow my Hoyas? So I don't do any soil. I'm completely soilless for all my Hoyas and for my anthuriums. I use a mix of cocoa husk with vermiculite and sphagnum moss just for water retention. I might throw in some leca balls or some pond just in there for grit. And then I put some leca balls at the bottom so I can have a reservoir. So I just used basically it's that cocoa husk that I use as my base, add some other amendments in, and then do a drainless, soilless, and leave a reservoir at the bottom for water. I find that the Hoyas, it was this misnomer that when I first started growing Hoyas that they wanted to completely just dry out and so forth, and you treat them like you might treat any other succulent. But in my experience, I haven't found that to be the case. I find that if you let your Hoyas dry out too much, they'll stop growing. So, or they'll try to flower and then die. So in my experience, I found that they like to be consistently moist, not wet, but consistently moist. So for me, Hoyas in a semi-hydro setup kind of works the best. All right, now which Hoyas am I showing you today? So first Hoya I want to show you was sold to me as Hoya EPC 1016. I got this as a 2-leaf cutting, and these are the actual original leaves. It took a little minute to get established. As you see, gave me a couple of little leaves when it first was getting established. From then on, it took off. It has flowered, and if I can find a picture, I'll add the picture there. But it has flowered there, and the leaves are absolutely beautiful. They do stress under higher light, and I find that in the warmer months, it's more red, and in the cooler months, the stress is a little more pink. So this is Hoya EPC 1016. This is the newest leaf. And you can see the stress, and you can see the size of this leaf compared to this leaf. So it did size up really nicely. So that's one of my faves for November. This is Hoya EPC 1016. Highly recommended. Really, really easy Hoya to grow. No major issues with it. I water this one probably like every 2 weeks, and it's fine. Totally fine. I water it every 2 weeks, and then I feed it once a month. So Hoya EPC 1016. Yes, a stunner. All right, now my next Hoya is Hoya nervosa. So I got this one as well as a 2-leaf cutting. I believe this is the original leaf here. And now we have this one. Now this one, I had to learn a little bit more of what it liked. So I used to keep this Hoya in higher light. And I found that when I kept this in higher light, that it caused the leaves to bleach a bit, as well as the leaves were kind of smaller. When I moved it to more medium light, then I started getting these leaves. And as you can see, this is a large, nice size leaf. The leaves are sizing up. They got the ripples in them, beautiful coloring. So it's not faded or discolored because of the light. And it's beautiful, hard leaf. Hoya nervosa, fantastic coloring. Once I figured it out, then it was good from there on. It was originally slower grower in the higher light, but when I moved it to medium light, then it started putting out all these leaves. So it's got leaves there, got leaves there that it's trying to put out. And I believe this Hoya does better in cooler weather. I think this was maybe a cooler growing Hoya because it did better for me now this time of year than it did when the summers got really, really hot. All right, that's Hoya nervosa. Nice one, right? Again, this is my drainless, soilless mix. This one has not flowered yet. So I'm hoping to get, hopefully this might flower for me this fall, or this winter rather, it might flower for me. All right, that's Hoya nervosa. All right, now, my last Hoya that I want to share with you is, I believe this is a hybrid. This is called Hoya viola, and I believe this is a hybrid of Hoya Deckii and Hoya vitellina. I've been growing this one as a 2-leaf cutting. I believe this is the leaves that originally came with it. It is one cutting. So you can see here at the base, it is one cutting. This is one that branches out. And it branches out and it gets really bushy. And I just keep wrapping the tendrils around it and it gets bushier and bushier. This does stress. And you put it in higher light, it will stress. The top of my leaves are closer to the grow light, so that's why those have a little stressing on them. But it has also beautiful shades of green in it. And you can see Deckii. So for me, and my thinking, this has the look of the Deckii and the sizing of the vitellina, because the leaves get much larger than the Deckii does, but they look just like a big Deckii. This one is trying to bloom up for me. All right, it tried to bloom before, but when it bloomed, the buzz blasted, so I didn't get a chance to see the pictures. I believe the blooms are white. So this one is trying to bloom up. So this is my Hoya viola, and Hoya viola is a hybrid of Hoya Deckii and Hoya vitellina. Extremely easy plant to grow. Extremely easy plant to grow. I have found, and I don't know if it's because of the size, that it is thirsty. So even in high humidity, I still water this one probably like once a week. And it is in my standard setup with no soil, no drainage, with the reservoir at the bottom. So this is Hoya viola, one of my favorites. All right, so that is all of my Hoyas that I wanted to share with you today. I really, truly appreciate you checking me out, rocking with me, checking out my first video, trying to get better and better as I go along. I do want to give a shout out to a couple of people that kind of influenced me on my journey with getting into the YouTube and the social media sharing of my plant in the plant community. And one is Jasmina Lowe. Shout out to Jasmina Lowe, my little sis. Jasmina is phenomenal, has an awesome collection, and her gear is like primo. So shout out to Jasmina. Jasmina was the one that kind of pushed me and said that the world needs to see my collection. So I appreciate you, little sis, for that. And then I want to thank University of Jamon. Jamon, appreciate you, man. Jamon is the one that kind of gave me the technical tips and the skills on what to do with this video, so I really appreciate that. And then, of course, last but not least, my boy Dave, Aroid District. Dave is the one that got me into anthuriums and have been rocking with me for a long time, so I appreciate it. So thank you again for watching. I hope you like, comment, and comment and subscribe to my video. So I do have a question for you. So what are your November favorites? What are your November favorites? Whether it's a Hoya or anthurium, just drop that in the comment. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Peace.